What up, y'all? It's a real ball watcher. Grab your binoculars, and I'm back with another video. And Bryce haters, I'm gonna let you know, if you're a hater of Bryce, this is for you, because we're gonna talk about his bad plays. He made some bad plays. I got you. And if you're here for real ball talk, you know we got that for you. This is the first Bryce breakdown of the year. This feels like a lengthy one to me because I got a lot of plays, a lot of concepts drawn up with the defense. Also, if you really want to talk tape, this is the video for you. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see next week, who you want to focus on next week. I think I might start doing some college evals soon because we're starting to see the holes in this team. But yeah, do all the YouTube stuff. It's the Real Ball Watcher. Let's get into it. All right, let's get to the basics. We're going to start from the beginning, go in chronological order, because this is about Bryce and Dave Canales starting to put it together again like they did last year. I was correcting my video last week. Dave Canales starts slow, but as you can see, it's starting to ramp up a little bit, and we'll talk about that here. So first play, we're gonna talk about this fumble, man. First thing I want to do, I'm not gonna pass off blame from Bryce. He has to hold on to the ball. It's really that simple. But I talked about this on my Twitter. The Cardinals love to walk up 7, 8 guys, 2 into the A gap, 1 mugged outside, and then only rush 5, maybe sometimes 4 in a sim blitz, sometimes 6, and that's all that happens. We're going to get a double A gap look. We're going to run a stunt with the edge who is playing 3-tech out of a 3-point stance. So we're going to get stunt with the linebacker in the A gap. Austin Corbett just does not do his job, which sucks because we had 3 guys open on this play, but with the instant pressure, it was no chance. Austin Corbett has to pick up this block. I think he knows that he is injured, so I'm not going to rag on him too much like I did last week. And Bryce got to hold on to the ball. It's very that simple. We spotted them 7 points. It's not much more to say. Now, one thing that we struggled with last week that I talked about, and we struggled with again this week, is picking up the blitz. Bryce Young was not good when the blitz was not blocked. He didn't have any hot answers, and the blitz was not blocked correctly. We saw he wasn't good. We saw that play on the fumble. Let's go ahead and look here again on this interception. We're once again going to have multiple guys coming. One is unblocked because Robert Hunt didn't do his job. Bryce Young throws it. It's not a good play because you just want to take the sack, but I do want to pull up this concept. We have nothing but deep routes. Granted, this is 3rd and 11, but we have a corner route from T-Mac on the opposite side against Will Johnson. We have a trip stack over, not a stack, but 3 wide receivers to the right. We're going to have a big 11-yard dig from Jatavian Sanders. We're going to have a comeback route from Hunter Renfrow. We're going to have an out route from Bryce and Tremaine. 0 outlets short. When you see the running back, he's staying in the block. We're going to block 5, I want to say, versus 6 or 7. We're going to block 6 versus 6. But with the stunt, not even a stunt, just kind of the delayed pressure from the defensive line and dropping guys back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, we're blocking 6 versus 5, and we can't pick it up. So, hey, Bryce, next time, just go ahead and take the sack. But it's hard to be a quarterback when you're blocking more guys than they're bringing, and they're getting instant pressure before guys can even get to the break of the route so you can throw the ball, before they get to their landmark. We can look at it when they actually did blitz, and we picked it up. You got Bryce and Tremaine coming across, lets them know a zone coverage. Everything's picked up. Still gets pressure immediately because Buda Baker just beats Ikem Ekwonu and Chuba Hubbard getting confused. But Bryce is able to get the ball out quick. Boom. Inaccurate pass because, hey, maybe we need a better ball. Cool. Let's say it. Bryce Young needs to throw a better ball here. But you got a guy at his feet. You got a guy hitting him up top. This should have been a penalty. I'm not going to lie. But he was able to get the ball out quick. He was able to get the ball out downfield. And this is a first down against Will Johnson. Bryce and Tremaine, somebody's finally coming up big outside of Tetairoa McMillan. So this is what you need. And then we can look at it again. And this almost the same kind of stunt that they ran the first time with the defensive tackle, which this time is a defensive tackle because it's Calais Campbell, stunning across the center's face, and then the linebacker coming under him. It's going to get immediate pressure, but we're just running sticks. We see how far off they're playing. We're running sticks. Hey, Bryce Young gets it out quick. T-Mac for a first down, a little bit of yak, not much, but when the blocking is there, we got it. They blitzed 6 times. We got 3 first downs, 1 incompletion, and the other 2 were the turnovers, as we've seen. It's simple. When we block it, Bryce Young can throw it. It's really that simple. Okay, now that we got the worst part out the way, it's not all the bad. It's a couple bad left. And if you see me looking down, that's my fault. You know, I'm trying to show y'all the plays and everything with all my graphs and stuff. But we got most of the bad stuff out the way. Immediately after that interception drive, Bryce Young comes out and he's balls to the wall. He's balling out to that. If you see the TV moving, my bad. I got the game up. You know, they playing late. But, so, basically all we're going to get is a cover one robber look from the Arizona Cardinals. We know it's cover one because what happens? We're going to motion Tommy Tremble outside. We're going to snap the ball immediately because of the linebacker that went with Tommy Tremble, or I should say the corner that went with Tommy Tremble. We know, hey, this is man coverage. Easy. As you can see, Budda Baker is going to be a guy that rotates down. He's going to be your robber. I'm going to have whoever number 42 is. I can't remember off the top of my head. He's going to be your single high safety. Everybody else manned up, guy on guy. Our best versus your best. Probably not, because Will Johnson probably should have been on Tedero McMillan if there was their best versus our best. But whatever. We're going to go, you know, put Max Melton on him. Try to see who's better. What we're going to draw up is a simple corner route from Xavier Legan on that backside. We're going to run that after the motion. We're going to run a quick out route to Tommy Tremble. It's not up there for whatever reason. I forgot to write it. The back is going to swing out, do a little flat. We didn't have to write that. A pivot route, or a return route, I should say, from Hunter Renfrow on the inside of the slot. And T-Mac, we're just going to run a big dig / crosser. I can't really tell by the way he runs his route. All of them are super rounded, so they kind of look the same. But it's going to be a big dig / crosser. What I want you to focus on, T-Mac first. What a way to release off the line, outside stem, gets the guy to open up his hips. Boom, we're back inside, running past the guy, immediately breaking off, catching the ball, and we're going to rumble. There has not been a Panthers receiver on this team in the past 2, maybe 3 years that has been able to be explosive and move the ball after the catch as much as T-Mac did in this game, and especially on this play. Now, he could have housed it, but we ain't got nobody that run a 4-4. We know he's a 4-5 guy, and we saw how excited he was to run that 4-5. So we ain't even worried about that. The fact that he got 30 yards of yak after this, that's plenty enough from us. That flipped the field. Now, what I want you to do, let's focus on Bryce Young. After we get this motion, like I said, he sees this cover one. What is he going to do? He knows Budda Baker is the robber. I know T-Mac is my ball winner on the outside. He's my best option as a receiver. He can be his man one-on-one, so I got to get him open. I got to create a lane. What does Bryce Young do? First thing he's going to do is stare down Xavier Legan on that corner. He's staring him down for the first 2 to 3 seconds of this drop back, making Budda Baker move over towards the corner in the out route, leaving the middle of the field wide open. What does Bryce Young do? Immediately snap his head back over, slides to the right to get into a throwing lane between the tackles, not over him. I mean, between the guard and the center, not over him like I told y'all. But in between those two, boom, strike. He was carving up Budda Baker with his eyes all day long. When he had time, when he was blocked up, he was able to carve up Budda Baker and make him look wrong, not necessarily silly, but he was wrong a lot in coverage. He was wrong a lot. He followed the QB's eyes a lot, and Bryce Young was leading him wrong. Simple as that. Really, really good play from our QB. This is what you want to see from a duo. You want to see these two guys hoop together. You want to see T-Mac hold up his end. Beat your man. If you are one-on-one, go beat your man. And you want to see Bryce Young, hey, manipulate the defense to open up the throwing lane to get it to your best player, get a good, accurate pass so he can run after catch. This is what I've been begging for 2 years. And we got it. Now, until Jalen Coker gets back, we're going to have to figure out the rest of the roster. But we'll worry about that when we get there. Let's keep going with the next play. Next play, man. The first half was really Bryce Young and T-Max. It's really that simple. What we're going to do, we're going to see that cheat motion again to let Bryce Young know, all right, this is going to be man coverage once again. We just cooked this dude. I don't know why they're doing man coverage again. We're not even going to draw it up because Bryce Young doesn't even go through the reads. Nothing else matters. He knows there's a safety over top, but we're not even running anything deep, so I can stare this down the whole way. Cheat motion. Oh, I see that corner bumped over. The slot bumped back out. This is man coverage the whole way. Far hash. I'm going to go ahead and snap this ball and stare down T-Mac until he wins. T-Mac's going to get outside release, push off a little bit, and then a quick nifty move inside and running the safety over to get us a first down. He caught her short of the sticks, was able to make a move with his back turned to the safety. He did not have to fully turn around. He did not need a full head of steam, anything like that. From a coming back towards the ball, he was able to make a play from a stagnant position, not knowing where the man is, just being able to feel him, get back upfield, run a guy over, and get a first down. 2 big plays, 2 big receptions, back-to-back for T-Mac. This play ain't much about Bryce. We got to shout out what we got. This is what I told y'all. Puka Nacua. I told y'all that's the type of rookie impact that this guy could have. he's having it. He is 8th in the entire NFL in receiving yards. He's on pace to have about 160, 155 targets this year, 1,400 yards. Don't know if he touched the 1,400 yard mark. That's crazy if he does. But if we can get him 1,100, it's easy rookie of the year. We just got to start getting him in the end zone. We'll talk about that later on. Let's move on to the next play. Shout out to T-Mac. All right, it's time to give Dave Canales his credit, man. I talked about how Bryce Young it wasn't his fault last week. He was not the only issue. He was not the reason that we lost. Dave Canales starts slow. We got to get him ramped up, starting to get his team ready to play week 1. His team looked a lot more prepared this game. A lot better preparation went into this game. We were hitting. We were a lot more physical. The run defense was a lot better. We only allowed, I want to say, 82 yards rushing for the entire game. If you take out Kyler Murray's 20, 30-yard scramble, it's like 50 yards. Defense played well. We got pressures. We actually got a sack and an interception. Crazy, right? Let's look at this concept. I love it. First of all, we're just going to be seeing, I want to say this is a cover 9 look. Forgive me if I am incorrect. But to me, it looks like cover 9 because we're going to have cover 2 to one side, and it's going to be almost a cover 4 to the opposite side where T-Mac is. We're going to have the, and the reason that lets me know this is because how number 2, the middle of the field defender, the way he drops and opens his hips, looks like he's carrying the number 3 or a number 3 or number 2 receiver up the seam in a cover 2. And the other 2 safeties, you know, kind of, they got their deep quarter almost to the opposite side of the hash. So that makes me feel like this is cover 9. Apologies if I'm incorrect. Somebody knows more than me. Definitely correct me in the comments. I have no problem being incorrect. This is just what I think I saw. I'm pretty sure I'm right though. Anyway, so the concept versus this cover 9. We're going to have a big clearing out route for Hunter Renfrow. We need a guy with a lot more speed and a lot more dynamic, big play threat ability, not named Hunter Renfrow running this route. I feel like this should be the route that Xavier Leggett is running. And when Jalen Coker is back, he should be the one running Xavier Leggett's route, which is a big dig underneath. I think that's how we should run it. This is why my tweet went out about Xavier Leggett not being used correctly. When I was talking about Dave Canales during the game, and a lot of y'all thought I was defending Xavier Leggett. I don't think he's played well, but this is the type of stuff that I mean. We don't need Xavier Leggett running screens. We don't need Xavier Leggett running the digs underneath. We want him running downfield with a chance to make an explosive play if one of these safeties decides to jump an underneath route. Not Hunter Renfrow. If we need a contested catch downfield, we want it to be Xavier Leggett, maybe even T-Mac, not Hunter Renfrow. Whatever. That's too much ranting about this play calling stuff. Let's do it. Clear out route from Hunter Renfrow, whatever. Big underneath route from XL, which eventually gets picked up by that cover 2 on this right side from the middle of the field linebacker. We're going to have almost a mesh concept underneath when it comes to the checkdowns. We're going to have both Chuba and Jatavian Sanders chip guys that are coming from the inside, basically to give Bryce a little bit more time. And we're just going to have a big comeback route or a big curl route from T-Mac. It's going to be a big, deep pass. I want to say this pass got us 25 yards on this play. And let's let the play run. You can see that it worked like a charm. Hunter Renfrow moves both of those safeties back. The middle of the field defender focuses on Xavier Leggett coming across his face. In the quarter safety and Will Johnson in that almost hook curl, it was no chance. Nobody was guarding T-Mac. There was nobody for T-Mac because the middle of the field defender, who T-Mac will kind of be coming back towards, was already preoccupied by XL. Will Johnson was occupied by Jatavian Sanders in that underneath route. Look, this is what you want. This is almost like a levels concept. You pick Will Johnson. You pick either try to jump the route to T-Mac, which is going to be very hard to do, or you pick the underneath route. We're going to dump it off to Jatavian Sanders. He's going to get the first down. If not, we're going to throw it deep to our best receiver. He's going to be able to get us a couple yards of yak like he did here, about 5 yards. And it's going to be a 25-yard game. It's really that simple. Good play action from Bryce Young. Good Bryce Young by holding the middle of the field defender, by looking at the safety first. Not looking at the safety, by looking at Xavier Leggett on the crosser first. That leaves everybody away from T-Mac, who they don't even realize is, hey, he stopped on his route because they're looking at Bryce Young's eyes, and it's away from him. Immediately snaps back and lets the ball go. Simple as that. Quick processor. This is what we want him to do. Full field reads, moving safeties, playing from the pocket with accuracy, with touch, with velocity when he needs to. The duo is duoing. Simple as that. Let's move on. But we got to give Dave Canales credit for this concept. This is a great concept versus this cover 9. Great play. Let's move on. All right, I got to put this play in here because I want to keep critiquing Bryce. I don't want y'all to say that I'm biased. Any bad play that I think he could improve on, excuse me for watching the game. I'm tripping, y'all ain't know. Any bad play that I think he could improve on, I should include so it doesn't seem like it's all rainbow sunshines and cupcakes when he has a good game. Let's look at this play. We're going to have empty. There's no need to draw it up. We're going to have 3 slants or 2 slants on the inside from the slot, but from Xavier Leggett and Hunter Renfrow. We're going to have a dig from Ja'Tavion Sanders up top. And we're going to have a stick and a go on the opposite side with Rico Dowdle and Tedaro McMillan running the stick. If you look at this linebacker, this is going to be a regular cover 3. They're going to rotate the linebacker out of the A gap, out of the mug look, to run this hook zone because they're dropping the safety. And if you look at it, if Bryce Young, there's only a 4-man pressure, nobody's coming. I think his internal clock was sped up by the earlier blitzes in the game. So now he's trying to throw it quick. Let's get it out quick. But if you just take a second and look, hey, it's a 4-man pressure. We blocked it up pretty good, even though Damian Lewis did start, losing a little bit. Hey, move the pocket, step up. And if you look at T-Mac, once that linebacker clears him, there's nobody around him. He could have caught this and kept running for a first down. That's all I really wanted to point out on this. His internal clock was a little bit sped up from those blitzes earlier, not in getting home. Not necessarily getting the pressure that he should have got. Getting the protection that he should have got. And it kind of sped him up on this play. It didn't pop up too many more times in this game, but this is a game where we could have easily got a crucial first down on this play to T-Mac. Simple as that. We've seen what he's able to do with the ball in his hands. Let's get it to him in open space and opportunities like this. But let's move on. We're not going to kill him too much for throwing to the open man. It is what it is. Let's move on to the next play. Now, I have shown you guys 2 plays where Bryce Young has used the cheat motion to identify that the defense is in man and go to Tedaro McMillan and win. Simple as that. What we're going to look at here is we're going to send Hunter Renfrow in motion from the opposite side of the field. Oh, look, nobody went with him. Bryce Young knows immediately this is going to be zone. We're going to have a simple curl with a dig behind it. Simple as that. Bryce Young is going to use his eyes once again to move Budda Baker. He's going to make him jump on this curl from Ja'Tavion Sanders and throw it right behind him while getting hit from the pressure from Ikem Ekwonu. He's getting pushed into Bryce Young. Bryce Young fits it into a pretty tight window that isn't even open when he throws it. This is a great anticipatory throw. We gotta give him his credit when it's due. Capital A anticipation. Great movement with his eyes. Great playing from the pocket. Great being able to throw through that tight throwing lane while getting hit. Good play. Great job by Hunter Renfrow for holding on and being able to get this first down for us also. That's a pretty good play from him after he got hit by Will Johnson. So, got to give that guy credit because, I was not on the not Make-A-Wish, but Make-A-Wish Hunter Renfrow campaign. Get him on his team. I didn't think he was that good. He's been pretty solid for us. So I got to give him his credit. Let's move on to the next play though. Once again, what do we see? Bryce Young is using this cheat motion. He's going to motion Ja'Tavion Sanders inside, motion him back out to the slot or that kind of condensed split that he has almost as a flex tight end a little bit. He's going to know that this is cover 2. What does he do? Ball snaps. Immediately he's going to hold that safety to the left of that field right there. The middle of the field linebacker, number 2, is going to carry that seam up the middle of the field from Ja'Tavion Sanders. What does Bryce Young know? Hey, if his back is to me, he can't play it. Usually it's your eyes, but if his back is to me, I can't play it, but his eyes is here. So I'm going to throw it high. Ja'Tavion Sanders is 6'5". Go up and go get it. Ja'Tavion Sanders went up and dropped it. Nothing against Ja'Tavion Sanders, but I was hot after the drop at halftime, right before halftime, I should say. And then this drop, I was like, hey, man, if you're going to be anything more than just a decent tight end, we're going to need these plays. If we're going to get I'll say you can be an above average tight end without making these plays. But if you want to be a guy that is solidified as a dangerous weapon in this offense, which we need, especially while Coker is out, at 6'5", being a tight end, you got to pull these plays down. As simple as that. He was making difficult catches like this last year. It just hasn't gone his way this year. We need the guys outside of Tedaro and McMillan to step up. And Hunter Renfrow, I'll give him a little bit of credit. But I ain't going to kill Ja'Tavion Sanders too much because he did play really, really good this game. But I just wanted to look at Bryce Young, just quarterback in front of the pocket. Really, really good ball. It's no better place you could place it. It's right over the hands of the defender. I'll even slow it down for you. And it went right to Ja'Tavion Sanders and went right through his hands. Tough catch, but that's what you get paid to do. Simple as that. So let's move on to the next play. Now, what I have not shown much in this game is Bryce Young's extending the play and making plays with his legs and his eyes. Simple as that. That was one of his superpowers coming out. And it's not just his play extension, being able to move around the pocket, things like that. It's the fact that when he is extending those plays, running around in circles, doing all that extra stuff, stepping up, stepping outside of the pocket, he's still going through his progressions and playing within the timing of the play. That is the most impressive part of it, and that's what we're going to see here. I don't know if this is man or cover two. I can't tell the difference. The way that the way that Budda Baker and Garrett Williams pass off XL into Garrett Williams picking up Tommy Tremble barely, it looks like that they're in some type of zone coverage. I can't tell what it is, but if they're not, who cares? We're going to have T-Mac up top. He's going to be running the pivot route to the outside versus Will Johnson. Two crossers, but kind of a sit down, almost a post sit down for Tommy Tremble here, and then a crosser from XL. And then I guess it's just going to be a kind of return route for Hunter Renfrow that he stopped on. And then Chuba's just going to swing out. What I want to point out, we're focused on Bryce. Full field read while moving in the pocket. We're going to snap that ball after we see, all right, we motioned it over. Look at T-Mac, that's our #1 ball winner. Hey, he's not going to beat Will Johnson on this route because of the leverage that he has. He had help inside. He knew to stay on his outside hip. Great technique from Will Johnson. We're going to move off of that. Once we move off of that, Bryce's eyes immediately goes to those crossers. He sees nothing but congestion. None of those things is open. All right, I'm going to step up in the pocket. The guy tries to strip it. Strong hands to keep both hands on the ball. Break that tackle. Good core strength, something that they swear he didn't have in his first year, but whatever. Breaks that tackle, gets outside the pocket. Hunter Renfrow's covered. Look at nobody guarding Chuba Hubbard right here. This is why I'm conflicted on if this is man coverage or cover two, because if it's man, somebody should have had Chuba, but he ran free the entire play. And Bryce Young was able to make a play and find him for a touchdown. It may not look like much of a throw. The throw isn't that impressive. It's just, you know, swinging it out to the flat, completely uncovered. But going through a full field of reads, breaking a tackle, keeping both hands on the ball, not turning it over. We talked about how he needs to do that. And being able to play in the progression of your offense, still while doing all that, is a superpower. Simple as that. We got to give him credit when it's due. Good play by Bryce Young. Let's move on. Now this right here. This right here, man. This might be the best play of the day from Bryce Young. I don't even remember exactly what it was. I want to say it was like 4th and, let me look at it. Yeah, about 4th and 15. No T-Mac on the field. No Xavier Legan on the field. We got David Moore, Hunter Renfrow, Bryson Tremaine, Chuba Hubbard, and Jatavian Sanders. That's your weapons on 4th and 15, 16. I don't remember the exact measurement. And we need you to go make a play. What is the defense running? It's just your regular cover 6. They're just, not cover 6, sorry. Cover 3. They're just playing it from the sticks. 3 over top, 4 underneath. You got your hook guys basically playing the middle of the field at the sticks. You got your curls, your hook curl flat guys basically playing outside for anything that's almost like a out-breaking route that beats the corner that is going deep on these deep thirds. This should not work. But Dave Canales does call a pretty good play. What we're going to have is going to start from the top. We're going to have a big, almost out route, almost corner a little bit from David Moore, just to occupy those 2 guys on the outside up top. Then we're going to have a big, almost curl, 5 yards short of the stick from Jatavian Sanders. Then we're going to have a crosser right over top of him with Hunter Renfrow. He's going to occupy that second linebacker in that cover 3 on the opposite side of the hash, or on the same side of the hash that Bryce Young's on. Budda Baker's your hook defender. We talked about how Bryce has been saucing him up all day with his eyes. We're going to have Bryson Tremaine running a big dig right behind Budda Baker. What are we looking to do? Bryce Young, we need you to make Budda jump on that curl and throw the dig behind him. Simple enough. But God, sometimes this dude just make plays that are just crazy to me at his size especially, but for any quarterback to make, period. We're going to have Bryce Young drops back. There's going to be, the pocket collapses. He's going to step up. I think when he steps up, he's looking at Jatavian Sanders. That makes Budda Baker jump. Actually, Jatavian Sanders is even 5 yards short of this route. He's like 8, 9 yards short of the sticks. He makes him, Budda Baker, just jump ever so slightly, puts the ball right behind him to Bryson Tremaine, who just came open as he's getting hit, running forward. It looks very, very good from the wide zone angle. It looks like a very good play concept from the wide zone angle, right behind Budda Baker, as you can see when he jumps that route. But dog, from the end zone, it's a beautiful thing to step up in that pocket. Hey, get it out, man. Bryson Tremaine, good job in this game. He came up big a lot for Bryce Young. He kind of reminds me of, he's not the same position, but of Stephon Sullivan. Was that the tight end from 2023? Where it's like, hey, this guy shouldn't really be on the roster for real, especially getting playing time. But him and Bryce just have some type of chemistry on these type of big plays. You saw the one-handed dig that he caught I showed earlier in the video. And then you look at this one, and you see it on this 4th and 15, 16. He's able to win on this big dig over top for Bryce Young. It's really simple as that. So, really, really good day from Bryce Tremaine. Even better day from Bryce Young. We got to clap it up. But we ain't done with this video. Let's keep on moving to the next play. No need to draw up this last one. I just want to point out that this duo is crazy. I talked about it in my video about T-Mac. Not the draft breakdown video, but once we draft him, I talked about how good he'll be as a rookie. Go back and watch that video if you haven't seen it. I was correct. It's really that simple. I was correct. This duo is crazy. I talked about how good T-Mac was on in-breaking routes, whether it's a crosser, whether it's a dig, slant routes, things like that, and how Bryce Young is amazing throwing to the middle of the field. He is a magician throwing to the middle of the field when he really should not be as a shorter guy. He should not be able to see that, but he does. And how that marriage is going to come together, kind of like how Stafford throws over the middle of the field and Puka is good at crossers and digs and in-breakers. I talked about that and how that effect is going to have on this team and this offense, and it's already paying amazing return on investment. Let's look at this play. We don't need to draw up the whole thing. We know T-Mac is going to be running what? A dig. Simple as that. The defense, I want to say once again, they're in cover 2 actually. Budda Baker, he opens up just like I showed y'all that linebacker did in that cover 9. He's supposed to carry Tommy Tremble up the middle if he goes. He see Tommy Tremble, breaks out. Why does he look there immediately? Because Bryce Young immediately looks there. That's also the trip side, or you're supposed to carry that number 3. But Bryce Young looks there immediately to hold Budda Baker. You'll see it a lot better from the end zone angle. We'll show you in a second. But that holds Budda Baker for long enough for T-Mac to come open. For some reason, I don't know if it's Bryce with his eyes, because we can't see his eyes in the all 22. I mean, literally his eyes. I don't know if he's looking at these receivers, these running backs or these underneath routes right before he throws it on these high-low concepts. But these guys are jumping on the route so early and often, right before he passes it, that it's making me think that he's the one looking at it before he throws it. Not saying he's doing no looks, but it's easy just to dart your eyes and go back to where your initial target is. Using your peripheral vision to see how T-Mac is going to come open on this window behind him. And Bryce Young lets it go in pressure while getting hit. T-Mac catches it, gets a couple yards, breaks 3 tackles. We see how good he is with the yak. I talked about this already. This is our Puka Nacua. But even better, like I said, from the end zone angle. Let's look at it. Ball snaps. Immediately, Bryce Young is looking left. So when Budda Baker sees that, all right, we're going to carry this number 3 since you're looking left. As soon as he sees Bryce Young has snapped his head back to the other side, what does Budda Baker do? Break. But Bryce Young doesn't need to see the receiver open. Once he sees his eyes snap back, oh, this middle linebacker is jumping Chuba, we're throwing it right behind him. Easy completion, good yards out the catch from T-Mac. This duo is nuts. Simple as that. All right, man, this has been a real ball watcher. Put up your binoculars. I really appreciate y'all tapping in. I tried to show a little bit more coverages and also the route concepts to see how they're manipulating the coverage, how Bryce Young is using his eyes. I didn't want to sensationalize this video and talk about how good he played, this or that. I just wanted to use the tape with the good and bad plays that he had. I wanted to highlight the good play calls that Dave Canales had to prove my point last week of him needing time to ramp up. If that is a fault to you, I completely understand. It is also a fault for me, but that's the coaster we got, man. So we got to rock with him until the wheels fall off. Simple as that. And if it takes him 2 to 3 games to ramp up, but he can eventually get us to the playoffs and maybe a Super Bowl, we'll see. Lofty expectations. Lofty expectations. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with being bad week 1, okay week 2, and finally putting it together week 3 if we're going to be a winning team the rest of the way. at the end of the day, that's cool. Hopefully he improves on it. Seems like he is very good at taking accountability. He talked about on that last drive, I didn't show it, but he talked about how he was being way too aggressive. And he didn't say way too aggressive. He said that he was maybe too aggressive on that last drive and trying to get it all in one play. That's great accountability. A lot of coaches don't do that. A lot of coaches will throw guys under the bus. Simple as that. Because the protection wasn't that good because guys got hurt. He could have easily said, hey, the concepts that we have would have worked if we had better protection, but we had guys go down. That's not, that's not what he did. He took accountability. Simple as that. So appreciate Dave Canales for doing that. If you like the video, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff. I just realized that my mic port has not been connected the whole time, so if this audio is trash, I apologize, but this is what it's going to have to be, gang. But I'll see y'all next week. Do all the YouTube stuff. Let me know if you want a T-Mac special video or if you want to see what's going on with Xavier Leggett and why it's not working so far. I'm thinking about those two being the next two videos, but I'm out.